Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make him man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make out what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part: if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black? Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
And good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Maybe the government needs to start taking advice because so much people are seeing and saying that the government handling of the relief effort is dismal. I hope overnight Metro Siaga haven't turned into PNP giving advice to the government, or what I would call telling the government that you're not doing enough. Given the amount of days that have passed now, you're really not doing enough. We have bits and pieces to bring to you this morning. If it's about politics, we have to still engage. It has been led by our government and been led dismally. What about the relief effort that is not political? Please tell us, what about the relief effort is not political when we see so much resources coming into the country and the people are still not getting it? It's political and incompetent. It's just not going right. Maybe the government need to team up with the entertainers and the vloggers, because what the entertainers and vloggers and charities out there understand the mission of what a relief effort means, and we will look into that further on. This government think that a care package with dry biscuit and a bottle of water, or a patty apple and a bottle of water, is anything of a relief effort or meaningful relief effort. So what's not political about all what is unfolding across the southwestern and northwestern belt of the country, the parishes which were hit hard by Melissa? Morning, everyone, to my community of Parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning and welcome. I think I first want to go to try fumbled my way. I'm really not in the reading mood this morning. But the PSOJ, the Manufacturing and Exporters Association of Jamaica, and the Chambers of Commerce of Jamaica has written to the Prime Minister on the 2nd of November. I don't know if a lot of you have seen it. I want to see if I fumble my way through it for you. Bear with me. Bear with me. I want to fumble my way through it for you, because it's important, because when we in the social media fraternity speak, or we who they thought are aligned to the People's National Party, when we speak, they think it's because we're political. Yard and abroad, everybody's watching. We saw the reports from ITV News UK of how the people are suffering for support on the ground. Is it that everybody don't like the Prime Minister and everybody play politics with Andrew Holness? Why everybody is saying enough is not being done? Wanna bear with me with this letter, please. Let me see if I fumble my way through it. Dear Prime Minister, we, the President of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, and the manufacturers and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA and the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, JCC, have been collectively engaged has been engaged in several intensive consultation with both public and private sector representatives since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Our country is now confronting devastation and a magnitude never before experienced in our lifetime. It is evident that Jamaica does not currently have full complement of human technicals and logistic resources required to adequately meet the urgent need for road clearance, search and rescue, and the provision of food, shelter, and medical support for those affected. While we acknowledge, While we acknowledge the deeply commend the tireless efforts already being made by the government agencies, first responders, and volunteers, we remain concerned that the current pace of recovery is not keeping up with the escalating humanitarian need, meaning more people should have been catered to. Evacuation for a lot of people, mass food supply, mass sanitary supply, tents, and all the necessities that would alleviate what the people are going through until we get to the rebuilding phase. Time is now our greatest constraint, and lives depend on swift, coordinated action, not action armed up by the government and think that they alone can deal with what the country is experiencing. Isn't that what you think Metro Siaga is saying? There ought to be joined up thinking. We cannot approach it in a one-upmanship. I own the rules, galangin. Hold on. This thing. It is our firm view that the national response must be streamlined under a clear, defined structure. What Mr. Siaga is saying here, we don't see any clear structure of how this whole response is being coordinated with transparent roles, centralized coordination, and strong accountability mechanism to ensure efficiency and impact. To this end, we respectfully submit the following recommendation for urgent consideration by the government of Jamaica. I want to widen this a bit. One sec, yeah. We respectfully urge the immediate establishment of centralized humanitarian safe zone across the island to provide secure shelter and coordinated care for displaced citizens. Facilities such as community centers, schools, and church that can be safely utilized should be temporarily open and managed as emergency shelters. A joint logistic operation led by the Jamaica Defense Force with support from local authorities and private partners should urgently relocate families from the hardest hit area to these designed hubs. Bear with me and let us go to the next. Hold on. Let us go to the next one. Bear with me. I want me to go left or right. This direction. Yeah. Bear with. Each safe zone should be served as coordinated relief center, offering food, water, medical care, and sanitation, restoring dignity and stability, especially for elderly, women, and children. Number 2, one sec. Coordinated National Relief Command. When I hear me globalist, yeah, me just need to read this phone for show them say this is not us coming on the internet playing politics. The world is watching. Meche Siaga, who normally come out can defend Andrew, is watching. Enough is not being done. A clear structure is not being established. It's all over the place. Now, one thing when Meche Siaga and the government them agree to, yes, so we not agree, is Danville Walker involvement. Danville Walker crook with Andrew Holness. Coordinated National Relief Command. We recommend a formal establishment of a National Relief and Reconstruction Command, reporting directly to Cabinet. That means take it out of the government coffers and let technocrats and bureaucrats deal with this thing. Throughout our meeting, it appeared that Mr. Danville Walker, OJCD, has been leading elements of this response, and we therefore recommend that he or another suitable appointed individual be formally designated and empowered to lead this national command. The appointed leader should have the mandate to mobilize emergency spending, direct agencies and personnel, and engage international disaster relief experts to support the operation. The structure should follow the proven model of the Office of National Reconstruction, ONR, ensuring unified command, swift decision making, and clear accountability. We further propose that timely progress report to be provided to the government, opposition, private sector, and key stakeholder to maintain transparency and coordination. Hold on there. Number 3. Why is this thing playing me about? Don't go over there. Come down here. Oh, bear with me, globalists. When we touch it, it play up. Number 3. I'm number 3 with a yeah. State of public emergency for affected areas. While we note the government declaration of a national disaster area, we further recommend the declaration of a state of public emergency in the most severe impact communities, such a declaration would not be punitive, but rather an enabling mechanism to ensure swift restoration of order, safety, and access, for allowing emergency powers to be used for road clearance, search and rescue, and safeguarding the distribution of supplies and essential goods. Number 4, oversight and transparency. Within the next 7 days, we propose the formation of an oversight and recovery committee comprising representative of the government, opposition, private sector, civil society, modeled on a successful framework chaired by Keith Duncan and Audrey Marks, rather. Stop it. This committee would ensure transparency, national unity, and collective leadership in the rebuilding effort. The private sector stand ready to recommend key technical experts to support this process, including specialists in logistics, infrastructure, housing, and humanitarian coordination. Bear with, let's go to, come off, you lot. Let's go to the next, the final piece of it. Get away from here. We stand in full solidarity with the people of Jamaica and the government in the shared mission to restore hope, dignity, and stability to our nation. In this time of unprecedented crisis, we remain committed to collaboration, compassion, and adaptability, working together to find practical solutions that bring relief, rebuild lives, and strengthen Jamaica's resilience. The private sector remains ready and committed to continue partnering with the administration and all national stakeholders to rebuild a stronger, safer, and more resilient Jamaica. Where every citizen feels seen, supported, and safe, with utmost respect, solidarity, and faith in resilience of our people. Sincerely, Metri Siaga, Katrina Silvera, and hold on, Emel R. Libra, something like a song. So a lot of people are watching. A lot of people are fully aware, given the support that we see coming into the country, that enough is not being done. So many days have passed, and the government still not get to some people. No, strong letter, Miranda Rado. Because if this is diplomatically speaking, I would want to hear their views off record of the Prime Minister's performance of the relief effort. You remember in Parliament last evening on, Tuesday, when a lot of questions was posed to the Prime Minister by members of Parliament, particularly those in the worst hit area. I'm going to play for you a tirade from the Prime Minister. He called it a response. I'm going to play a tirade for you from the Prime Minister in Parliament on Tuesday evening in response to the MP's question. Hold on there. One dragon.
Stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of Parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid. It never happened in COVID, it never happened in burial, and it will not happen.
Yes, I would jump out after me. You jump out, Prime Minister, you're coming like Anansi. You just jump out and make web cross my face. What aid were you talking about in, what's him call her, COVID? What aid, Prime Minister, are you talking about in COVID? Jamaicans, do you know of any aid that the Jamaica people received during COVID? I was shocked, like literally. I was shocked when I heard the Prime Minister say, it never happened in COVID. It never happened in burial. Leave burial out of the question, Prime Minister. We're talking about COVID. What were the resources again? Can you remember? What were the aid? What were the aid that you gave to the people, Prime Minister? Remind us, please. That just jumped out at me. It never happened in COVID. It never happened in burial. You go and talk, you're wicked, man. Wickeder than you know, make it.
Stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid. It never happened in COVID, it never happened in burial, and it will not happen. Madam Speaker, I can point out to you that the member from Eastern Westmoreland made his public comments. I saw them. I reached out to the leader of the opposition.
Listen to the explanation.
I recognized your pain in what you said.
Hey, we want to listen to Andrew, you know. Prime Minister, remember says Spice go with our bulldozer and buck our way through go find the people. Then listen to the explanation of the Prime Minister.
I saw your public comments. I recognized the pain in what you said, and I asked the member from Southeast Clarendon, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, to reach out to you. It is only a matter of logistics why I was not able to land in Darliston or in White House. My friend, if the helicopters could have landed me there, I would have landed there, and I would have been by your side if I could find you.
Dr. Campbell, your last. Dr. Campbell. Morning, Dr. Campbell. When do you want to say your last, Doctor? Because the Prime Minister said if he could have signed you, Dr. Campbell, we'll play again in the Andrew, we have to play the fuckery. Dr. Campbell. Which stone you did hide behind, sir? Which bush you did last? You know, what bushel were you under, Dr. Campbell? What bushel was it? No, sir. The man said, I was looking for you and I could not find you because the captain never have nowhere to land. If I really find you, I would be by your side. No, sir. Hey, whoever write them fuckery against this man, if you tell the nation, hey, you're wicked, you know? You're wicked. Because what you said there was lying to the nation. You lied in our parliament. And that is a resignable offense, Prime Minister. Lying in our parliament to the people of Jamaica is a resignable offense. Listen to the tirade and watch the body language. He's responding to questions of the crisis. The Prime Minister of Jamaica is responding to questions regarding the crisis. A further man-made humanitarian crisis is being unfolding because of the incompetency and the dismal performance of the Prime Minister. Listen carefully and watch his body language.
Stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government.
Me been telling us, see demons. Me sure me been telling us, Floyd Green and Andrew Holness will not go sorry if we not give them back power. Look you now. Floyd Green turn up on the back of Chinese. Floyd Green never turn up a party to a Sunday night with kids meal, KFC, 1-piece chicken, biscuit, water, and chips. Kids meal. Then yesterday, Floyd Green turned up on the back of the Chinese. Me hear say 3 coaster bus of Chinese came to party, giving out supplies. From Melissa, everybody back with the Floyd Green pan. Party people say, if you tell you Floyd Green, they know when it's coming from the government because you come with your staff them. When you come to shadow hither and thither, party people Floyd Green say, if you tell you, say, they know, say, I'll know, you know do nothing. You come pan KFC back one night. You come a Black River where you pan Shaggy back. You come pan Massacre back. You come pan the Chinese, them back Floyd Green party people say, if you tell you, say, they know when you are do. You come with your staff. Then say they know, say, a shadow. You are shadow other people's assistance, Floyd Green. As so then say, if you tell you this morning.
Stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid. It never happened in COVID, it never happened in Beryl, and it will not happen. Madam
Prime Minister, being entitled to it and receiving it is totally 2 different things. I don't know if you're aware. I really don't know if you're aware of that.
Speaker, I can point out to you that the member from Eastern Westmoreland made his public comments. I saw them. I reached out to the leader of the opposition. I recognized your pain in what you said. I saw your public comments. I recognized the pain in what you said, and I asked the member from Southeast Clarendon, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, to reach out to you. It is only a matter of logistics why I was not able to land in Darliston or in White House. My friend, if the helicopters could have landed me there, I would have landed there, and I would have been by your side if I could find you. There was no attempt whatsoever, and the suffering of Jamaicans in your constituency, the suffering of Jamaicans in the constituency of Northwest St. Elizabeth is of concern. There are constituencies over here that we have not reached. Southern Trelawney, we haven't reached. Northwestern St. Elizabeth, we haven't reached. So all I'm saying, Madam Speaker, and to Jamaica, I must stand up firmly and close the door on any attempt to politicize aid.
I must stand firmly, he said, and close the door on any politicization on aid. Vice Prime Minister use a backhoe.
She said she come directly to me.
This video may copyright me, so I may have to cut it out when me done. Vice Prime Minister use a backhoe and him buck her way to the people them. And she find them, isn't it? I mean, that was just Spice renting a backhoe, Prime Minister. With a government who have full apparatus logistics. At least when Grand Gala, we see whole heap of effort rolled out and presented to us. Where they are now is a question that some of us are asking. This same government, I have problem getting in way around the country. But what Spice brought with her Prime Minister is what, and not just Spice, a lot of the vloggers and charities, what they brought with them is what a relief effort look like. These people understand the mission and what is needed to be done for the Jamaica people, Prime Minister. The one apple, the one patty, and the little water, the dry crackers, and the little bucket of water we can't even wash down, the dry crackers, Prime Minister. There's nothing nutritious in dry crackers and sausage. I mean, we should have been elevated to a place where all relief center are providing cooked meal on a mass basis, on a day-to-day basis. The people are getting no nutrition. Plus they're dehydrated with underlying health conditions. Recipe for disaster created by Andrew Holness.
She said she come directly to me.
That's why I know there's a God. Right, that's why I'm on TikTok. Right, that's God. I have to find a girl. I never come down here yet, you know. There's a person has to be down here. I don't know my way. I say 3 hours I'm up on the hill. And them tell me I can't come down here because
Listen to the things Spice brought with her Prime Minister.
yes, the block. You know what I do? We rent a backhoe truck. When the truck they make a backhoe. And I clear the park because it's inside there. So I have to come down here. So you can see what I do to the people there. And we have a truck load of things. We have block, we have cement, we have steel, we have
Somebody got the own. Somebody.
together with stronger.
Prime Minister, my humble submission is that you take some advice from Spice. Spice understands the mission, Prime Minister. That is what a relief effort look like. You go with things
After Hurricane Melissa, we are out.
need. You go with things to at least short term alleviate the suffering of people. to help restructure their shelter, their roofing, to provide at least tent for those who we can't provide, tent and tarpaulin for those who we cannot provide immediate roofing for. Spice understand the mission, Prime Minister. And maybe all of these vloggers and charities across the country that is getting it right, that is way ahead of the government in supporting the people. I'm hoping that the Prime Minister can take advice from them, or if not advice, take a page out of their book and see if you can understand that little scandal bag. That's not help. The little scandal bag, it's not help. That's reducing the people. And to top it off, Prime Minister, everybody is watching the amount of support Jamaica is getting from home and abroad. This government who run hastily to create its begging bowl to gather money. This government who had the time to have a minister out there when everybody's hands should be on deck looking after the disaster at home. The government can have a minister preparing, glorifying parties in Jamaica, in America, in Canada. Who is going to pay the logistic for Wembley Stadium where you're going to have concert? Babsy Grange? Babsy Grange. Who is going to pick up the logistics for Wembley Stadium? Who is going to pick up the security fees? You can't keep nothing in England when a secured, when a crowd control Babsy Grange. You can't keep nothing in England when a crowd control. Who is going to pick up the logistic for Wembley Stadium where Babsy Grange are going to use to glorify the sacrifice of the Jamaica people who are still suffering for food and water? Who, Babsy? Who will pick up the logistic for the concert in Miramar? Who will pick up the logistic for the concert in all the other states in America? New York and everywhere that you're having the Babsy Grange? Shouldn't it be about prioritizing the people's dignity rather than celebrating the tragedy? Or am I getting it just horribly wrong? I mean, a patty, an apple, and a water from the doctor and from the DR, Minister of Health and Wellness and Healthy Living through Market Me. And even in a disaster, you must practice healthy eating. I don't know if a patty, a water, and an apple goes anywhere to I don't know what Dr. Tufton is saying. Just when you see Dr. Tufton, tap him on his shoulder and say, what the fuck was that, doctor?
After Hurricane Melissa, we are outside and we're now at Icon in Westmoreland. Guys, the damage in Westmoreland is very severe to a point where some of my neighbors don't have any home. Who have home now have no house stuff. My family's okay, we're okay. So Christopher Tufton came here with his helicopter over my head. There's a lot of persons out here because they stated that they're bringing care packages to Westmoreland. Some people don't have any food, no water, no toiletries, no nothing. And we're out here. Now look at this line right here. You see this line? You see this line? They're giving each person one patty, one apple, and a bottle of water. All these people are here. One patty, one apple, and a water. That's it. That's all we're getting. Some people have nowhere to live. There is no zinc, no zinc nail, no wood, no nothing. Thank God for this concrete house we're living in because me I tell you say God bless we, and we're able to help some persons around us. But if this is what Christopher Tufton came to Westmoreland to do, it makes no sense. Trust me, it makes no sense. We want our water commission turn on the water. That is what we wanted. So we can wash our clothes, we can take a shower. All of these things. One patty, one small bottle of water, and an apple. That is it. This is crazy. Crazy.
Anybody know Jamaicans? It would be weird to see Jamaicans buying one patty. Allow me to tell the people. It would be weird to see a Jamaican go in a patty shop, buying lunch, and buy one dege patty. This video is from my community. This is the community we call Bay House.
1 week later,
one dege patty. If I could have cussed like a Stephen mother this morning with Stephen and the 6 egg. Lord God, if I could have cussed like a Stephen mother this morning, I would have responded to Dr. Tufton. One patty. We never see Jamaicans go in a shop, go buy one patty yet. Talk to. We never see Jamaicans go in a shop, go buy one patty for it. Unless you buy patty and cocoa bread. But you know, buy one patty at Jamaica. But government mean test it and say, you know, your belly and your nutrition and energy will survive on a patty, an apple, and a water per day. You see how they have reduced us overnight? You see how them reduce we overnight? Westmoreland people, don't make no people suffer if you live in the diaspora. Supply on people with food because they can't suffer parity, you know. Them can't suffer parity them way there. The only way them can suffer parity if them now make we barrel them go through. Trust me. We have river. We have spring in our community. The starvation we not do to certain communities when I have access to water like some. Because if it get to the point, we have a river and we spring where we can go back to. But there's a water and food crisis. 2019, and I regularly say this over the year, I told parity, when I start plant up on a backyard, food will be weaponized against us. Don't you think food is being weaponized now? When it's not that, the food isn't in the country. The food isn't coming in as aid into the country. All of that is happening. We've seen the nearly hundreds of planes. Even the British, them just sent one other ship was docked yesterday or when, a couple of days ago. The aid is coming into the country. The people are not getting it though. Let's look at some of the effects of my community. The last time I went to Jamaica, I took one of my cousin's body from here to bury in the same yard here as well.
1 week later, sheer destruction continues to define one St. Elizabeth community. Homes lie in ruin, and residents surrounded by the wreckage cling to hope that rebuilding will soon begin so they can piece their lives back together. Romardo Lyons reports.
The sea calm in Parity Pond, St. Elizabeth. During Melissa, land space shrank as both the sea.
Hello, Ramado. Don't call we place Parity Pan. We place name Parity. But over there, so is called Salpan. The community don't name the pan. The community is called Parity. And then the part that we lock into where the river and the sea, with the between the river and the sea, over the lake, between the lake and the sea, over the lake is called Salpan, or we call it Dongapan or Overpan, but the community is not called Parity Pond.
One week later, sheer destruction continues to define one St. Elizabeth community. Homes lie in ruin, and residents surrounded by the wreckage cling to hope that rebuilding will soon begin so they can piece their lives back together. Romardo Lyons reports.
The sea, calm in Parity Pond, St. Elizabeth. During Melissa, land space shrank as both the sea and the pond on opposite sides closed in. Now, what's even more apparent than damage is the sheer disbelief that has latched on to residents.
All you can see is closing and old board. See there?
A full 360-degree spin and nothing to hold on to. That's Sandra Jones. She walked with one bottle of water and a world of regret and emptiness.
Empty. Believe it is see reverse these cars not driving.
She called Parity home for years. All that's left, memories.
This little circle, we call it day house. And the hurricane has given us a setback. Here, my livelihood gone. Here, see my fridge, my everything, my house, my bed. You can walk with me. Here you can, as you can see, here, the roof is down, so you'll sit there. I have to patch up my neighbor. Sit there. Even my neighbor, them over there, the roof is also gone.
Even if she rebuilds, the destruction around her remains too vast for comfort. Homes that took years to build reduced to a few rows of blocks, life and color erased. Homes disjointed, tops separated from bases, tanks deflated, cracks the new paint and pattern. Despite the destruction though, you realize she still treats her community with dignity. Not even a basket cover could stay out of place. And she isn't the only one. She's later joined by Wesley Bent. Though tired, they have no problem walking so people can see the devastation they now live in. He points where his house once stood, before mangled by Melissa. The bag on his back, prized possession in the grand scheme of his losses.
My house was right here, and she take it apart. See that rise. Everything start coming from the house, start moving house, and we have to run out. First time I run into that house there, same Gary rescue. When you see the sea coming inside, we have to run out. Over that side. When you come back at this one, if you do a proper one.
The Pedro Keys fisherman heeded warnings and avoided venturing out to sea. He just didn't know the sea would venture to him.
So we think that the land will have more better. But we still fall in this junction. So the greatest part is like, when you think about material things, you can build back, but one life ground, you cannot build back.
Farther from the sea, only the noise of animals, zinc folded like fabric. Many surprised that over a week later, poles like this one are still leaning, raising questions about the pace of recovery efforts. Dirty water at sea and battered boats on land spell disaster for fisherfolk as they try to rebuild with optimism. These residents continue to look to the future, hoping for assistance. But the more they remain in Parity, they are forced to talk in past tense.
Storm, tear it apart. There's a blue house was right here. Two parts. From over there to over there, you see, take it away.
All spoiled. And there, everything has went down. But I give the Lord thanks that I still have life.
Ramarda Lyons, TVJ News.
No, Sandra is my cousin. Both of us father are first cousin. She's also the wife of one of my cousin on my mother's side, Herlan Jones, who's always in the comment a lot of the time. Herlan is my mother and Herlan's mother are first cousins as well. So it's a community of families. Let's look at another. I wish about this. I think this is Petersfield.
Has set in among some.
Me not dismiss the rest of Jamaica, but me I tell you no. St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland people and meet it from this government. Me not dismiss what the rest of Jamaica who are affected by Melissa is going through. But them are punish we in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Maggot Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves.
Let me say to this government, your handling of the worst disaster we've experienced, with the nation watching so much support being given to Jamaica, could be a trigger, Prime Minister, for national unrest or unrest across sections of the country. I would appeal to you, Prime Minister, this morning. I would appeal to you this morning. Do not let the young men of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland tearing up against you. The way you're handling this thing, the young men across both parishes are angry and agitated. We don't want the government, I tell you no. We don't want the government. Tell the government say petrol that stop strike the blood clot matches. Petrol that government stop striking that fucking match.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Maggot Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves line the roadway like sentinels keeping guard over what's left of the northern town. But this is only a snapshot of the devastation Hurricane Melissa left behind in this part of the Breadbasket Parish. Residents tell the rest of the tale.
Windsor, Spring, Hampton, almost everywhere is devastated. Partially, we have trees, falling poles and utility poles and wire. We try to remove some to allow access of motor vehicles and foot patrol.
I advise the government from Wednesday morning, cut the bureaucracy. And see, this very bureaucracy has created a bottleneck. And nobody can get help because everything has to run through Pernell Charles and Andrew Holness' hand.
To an extent, we have gotten some success.
Nothing left on my place. One suit this time left on my back.
How many papers in me gone with? On my back. And one suit across. Everything else went up.
He says he ran out of his house to save his life when he heard an ominous sound. But the residents here are already trying to put things back together.
I take me have to take up back zinc and I'll try and nail up. We go and live in a city more. Me and my daughter.
Now across northern St. Elizabeth, there's an urgent need for basic food items.
All the food stuff are come around, we never get none. Only yesterday we get anti. Yeah. And we decide so we can't stay here. That's come out yesterday. Come out by the front, go see if we can get people.
Why after we for days been watching so much coming into the country, people are suffering from the 3 basic human rights: food, water, and shelter. Food, water, and shelter. Food, water, and shelter. The 3 minimum basics is still not been met. Eight days into the recovery, because we count the recovery from Thursday, or even going off on Wednesday. 8 days into the recovery, and some communities are still hungry and thirsty, are still sleeping under the element. The worst hit zone. We don't see any meaningful government support in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland and Hanover and parts of St. James. Where is the government? Where are our MPs and councillors? Where is the international support? The international support is coming. Why is it not getting to the people? Why these vloggers who are criticizing us, these Andrew Holness back vloggers who are criticizing us, why can they not have little humanity at this time to see that what we are saying, Uno wouldn't want to be in that position this morning, want to beg for food and water? And we must be quiet about that. Don't talk about politics. What isn't politics that involves the government? What isn't politics that involves our daily lives? Oh, they say, don't play politics.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Magotty Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves line the roadway like sentinels keeping guard over what's left of the northern town. But this is only a snapshot of the devastation Hurricane Melissa left behind in this part of the Breadbasket Parish. Residents tell the rest of the tale.
Windsor, Spring, Phantom, almost everywhere is devastated. Partially, we have trees, falling poles and utility, poles and wire. We try to remove some to allow access of motor vehicles and foot patrol. To an extent, we have gotten some success.
Nothing left. Nothing left on my place. One suit this time left on my back.
And my papers in my car with my back. And 1 2 clothes. Everything else went up.
He says he ran out of his house to save his life when he heard an ominous sound. But the residents here are already trying to put things back together.
I take me have to take up back zinc and I'll try and nail up. We go and live in a city more. Me and my daughter.
Now across northern St. Elizabeth, there's an urgent need for basic food items.
All the food stuff are come around, we never get none. Only yesterday we get anti. Yeah. And we decide so we can't stay here. That's come out yesterday. Come out by the front, go see.
There are tons and tons and tons of support already in the country from all the various international NGOs and charities. The bottleneck is where the government runs everything through Pernell Charles's ministry, which is doing a miserable job. And that is creating a disaster, a humanitarian disaster on the ground. There's so many ravished communities that haven't been reached yet by any government official with any support at all. Some of these road clearing, you hear the government taking credit for. It don't go so. Hey, it don't go so. The communities clear more road than the government. The men with the machete and chainsaw clear more roads than them. They are taking credit for things they are not doing. This video pains me.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Magotty Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves line the roadway like sentinels keeping guard.
This goes farther than incompetence. This is deliberate. Why I think it goes farther than incompetence? If Spice, Shaggy, Massacre, Andre, and so many other people can get to these very same people who are begging for food and water, and the government will have the ability to go by air, when all of them are fly around the country, a air they ain't go by, but they can't get food to the people by air. Even though the hope of food sit down on Kingston Wharf and at Kingston Airport or wherever they bail them off to, the people still can't get it, and the people are dying for hunger and thirst.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Magotty Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves line the roadway like sentinels keeping guard over what's left of the northern town. But this is only a snapshot of the devastation Hurricane Melissa left behind in this part of the Breadbasket Parish. Residents tell the rest of the tale.
Windsor, Spring, Hampton, almost everywhere is devastated. Partially, we have trees, falling poles and utility, poles and wire. We try to remove some to allow access of motor vehicles and foot patrol. To an extent, we have
Jaja's son, our soldiers are only to abuse us and point gun at us. You hear me? We soldier them. Job is to abuse us and to point gun at us. They master that. But what we expect soldiers to do, they're clueless. Now that it's upon us and we see the non-performance, we see to them only had to abuse. That's all them did for, to abuse us and to keep us in our place.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Magotty Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves line the roadway like sentinels keeping guard over what's left of the northern town. But this is only a snapshot of the devastation Hurricane Melissa left behind in this part of the Breadbasket Parish. Residents tell the rest of the tale.
Windsor, Spring.
Me tell you now where there, and I go tell you now again. It come time for we and the Maroon unite now. It's us against them. Especially down a party there on Ask Chief Curry. There are party people still pay. Some people down a party still pay Maroon tax. A lot of Maroons, including my grandmother, my descendant, they are Maroon who came down from the mountain and came to the course. But tell you now where there, I'm going to tell you now again. It's time for we unite now. It's us against the big players. Marcus Garvey said we're not going to sit here, we're back against the wall. We're being pushed right up at the moment. Because when the land war start, for the new city where the Prime Minister want building a St. Elizabeth, look how the Prime Minister mash up Newmarket, Magati and Black River. Look how the Prime Minister mash up the coastline from Black River to Treasure Beach. The land war is about to start. Me here say then tell don't turn them, then turn them so they can't build back because they need this of the build retaining wall. It start already, you know. Me did one on it start already. Anybody know don't turn Plaza Black River? Me here say then say turn can't build back this song. Come tell them say Andrew Holness, UDC and Parish Council are gonna move in and claim the entire Black River town for themselves. Dana Dixon said we have to look if those at the shoreline can rebuild back there or they have to rebuild somewhere else. The Prime Minister said, should Black River be where it is or should it be somewhere else? They must step up the argument. You know, step up on a unity, on an organization. Time for you to start having community meetings and you sit down. And Lord Jesus, if me did that on the ground for prepare on a car, you're not listening to me from a distance. From a distance, the world look blue and green. But from a distance, the United Nations is also going around claiming all of it for them picking it. And that me I try wake up to. This is not about Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness will sign way over to the devil. This is the devil's work from the United Nations. There's a conglomerate of them against us. It's the elites against us. We're more powerful than them, though. It's just because we're we're not united.
Has set in among some residents in northern St. Elizabeth. They're flocking to the only place they say food relief is being distributed. Krista Campbell has the details.
Water settled in a section of the Magotty Square in St. Elizabeth, while trees stripped of their leaves line the roadway like sentinels keeping guard over what's left of the northern town. But this is only a snapshot of the devastation Hurricane Melissa left behind in this part of the Breadbasket Parish. Residents tell the rest of the tale.
Windsor, Spring, Hampton, almost everywhere is devastated. Partially, we have trees, falling poles and utility, poles and wire. We try to remove some to allow access of motor vehicles and foot patrol. To an extent, we have gotten some success.
Nothing left. Nothing left on my place. One suit this time left on my back.
How many papers in my car with? On my back. And one suit across. Everything else went up.
He says he ran out of his house to save his life when he heard an ominous sound. But the residents here are already trying to put things back together.
I take me have to take up back zinc and I'll try and nail up. We go and live in a city more. Me and my daughter.
Now across northern St. Elizabeth, there's an urgent need for basic food items.
All the food stuff are come around, we never get none. Only yesterday we get anti. Yeah. I mean, decide so we can't stay here. Come out yesterday. Come out by the front, go see if we can get people something.
At the Siloa Primary School, it became evident. The grills of a classroom, the only protection from a desperate mob eager to get their hands on a bottle of drinking water.
Come to use the internet, but when you know the internet not working, and I say you chop family with coffee and juice and water, coffee and water, now come and collect it.
So far, the food relief in northern St. Elizabeth has only been distributed by non-governmental organizations. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
This is not accidental. This is all deliberate, carefully planned to frustrate the people. If this was an earthquake that created this disaster, I would have had utter sympathy for the government's mobilization, because it would have been something we're unprepared for, something that came without warning. That I could have sympathy for a government who is out of its depth with such a magnitude of a disaster like we are in. I do acknowledge the magnitude of the disaster. I'm in a fool, I'm in a backwards. Given that we're in a hurricane zone, which we're not stranger to hurricane. We just had a massive hit last year as well. So we should be able to know how to mobilize ourselves immediately after a hurricane, which we know is going to have a more terrible effect than anything we've ever experienced. And to see 8 days into the recovery, counting from Thursday of last week, I gave them Wednesday. Wednesday, all of us was in shock in Jamaica. It was hard to function. I accept that. Wednesday was hard for anybody to function properly, even though the Prime Minister was driving around carelessly by air. It was hard for us to function. Even though the Prime Minister was in Black River while dead body was on the North Street, Black River. Wednesday was a day where I brushed off. Most or none of us couldn't function on Wednesday. I'm counting from Thursday. I'm counting from last week, Thursday, to today, Thursday. 8 days into the recovery. 8 days into the recovery. And a lot of these ravished community have not seen any support from government, not even food or water. Without the charities, the entertainers and the vloggers and the influencers, people would have died for hunger in these worst hit areas. You want to tell me that's just incompetency alone? Okay, leave out of it the aid, the international aid that we saw, tons and tons of it came into the country from Thursday onwards. Or I think the came Thursday. Yeah, from Thursday onwards. Leave that out of it. Kingston was not ravished. So, like our places like Black River, the food supply, Black River and Santa Cruz and Newmarket, and so the food supply in supermarkets and so on was damaged or whatever. We have the private sector in Kingston, which is what Metro Siaga is saying. The Prime Minister, even without the international aid coming in, the Prime Minister coordinating with the private sector, we could have supplied Jamaicans in the worst hit area with the necessary food, water, and sanitary convenience until we get assistance from the wider international community. Even when we see almost 100 plane plus ships from the British and the Spanish that came into the country with aid, the people are still suffering from lack of food, water, and shelter. Food, water, and shelter. The basics of what the government ought to supply. This baby is left with only one nappy. Government. One. The one that... Did I play that video? Hold on. Is there a video that I haven't played? Let me see. This is disgraceful. Hold on. This is another painful video again. We're being punished. This is not social incompetency. And not incompetency, this, my peeps. This is deliberate. This is cruelty. Meted out to the people. On a run, we have to will, you know. Almighty God, not going to have to kill we. Andrew Holness. You're going to have to do something else. You're not going to use hunger. We're bread basket, St. Elizabeth. We know how to fend for ourselves. Prime Minister. Party people are going to take me serious now when they say grow something. Jamaica people may take me serious now when they say grow something. They are weaponizing food and water. God bless those of us who have a river or spring in our community. Because with system, we climatize. Even if we paid with belly for a week, our system will climatize. When we grow up, the Maros, the marshland, we bullfrog and everybody there. And what we call chub fish and crayfish. Maros have some of the coolest water. When we are tour bush and we're thirsty, we just go in the clean part of the Maros and we full with hand of water and drink the coolest water you go drink. And we never do have anything from it. Yes, we know the place contaminated now with the whole heap of dead carcass over the country where the government don't want to talk about. Have you ever heard in a national disaster there's not concern of dead bodies? Human or animal? Haiti declare a period of mourning. Jamaica declare a bomber blood clot period of partying. Sometimes I feel like I feel mad to rascal.
One of several shelters is on the verge of shutdown as there is no water, no electricity, and it's running low on supplies. Kalisha Williams picks up the story.
At the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland, children are everywhere. Not unusual on a regular school day, except classes have been suspended and these children live here for now with their families. There are close to 150 people at this shelter, most of them now homeless after Hurricane Melissa. We observed more women and small children. We were told there are 38 children and 6 newborns. We met this man with his 4-month-old. He too is homeless.
I want to go one room and get in there with him. And he mash up bad. His mother have to run with him. I will go in our next house. And we have the breeze, I lift the zinc, man. We have to run out and run go over one another front concrete house. And the baby, him drop front way with the baby.
He lost everything.
No one smell for the baby. I really have no clothes for him. See that that was socks upon him. No, I have for him right now. No, yeah, man, there was socks. More some feeding and pampers. Right now, one pampers there, one. One pampas you have right now.
The Americans used to warn us, the same Americans who send their military there outdated food and pill and whatever else they might come plant at Jamaica, you know. Plus, we know it's the NGO and the American military come with a string of pedophiles and sexual predators. It's just the facts. Just have to identify them. They warned us that we were on the road to Haiti. It's no more a matter of we are on the road. It's a matter of who is further down the hill, Jamaica or Haiti, because both of us are on the way down the hill. It's a matter, really, of who is further down the hill. It's not a matter of we catch up with them. We've stepped over that line that defines Haiti, haven't we? Overnight, mind you. We have stepped over that line that they used to define Haiti. It's no more a matter of if we've caught up with Haiti. It's who is further down the hill. There is some humanity, though, in that country that they ravish the worst in the hemisphere. They can at least have the humanity to declare 3 days of mourning for the 30 people, the 30 lives are so lost. We cannot get an accurate count of our dead. I've been a while ago, I made an axe for you a while. We cannot even get an accurate count with a government have absolutely no concern of dead carcasses around the country, human or animal. Communities have to be burying their dead. And then this government went into parliament and get into a tirade because questions is being asked of the handling.
One of several shelters is on the verge of shutdown as there is no water, no electricity, and it's running low on supplies. Kalisha Williams picks up the story.
At the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland, children are everywhere. Not unusual on a regular school day, except classes have been suspended and these children live here for now with their families. There are close to 150 people at this shelter, most of them now homeless after Hurricane Melissa. We observed more women and small children. We were told there are 38 children and 6 newborns. We met this man with his 4-month-old. He too is homeless.
I only go one room and I in there with him. And he mash up bad me. His mother have to run with him. I will go in our next house. And we are the breeze, I lift the zinc, man. We have to run out and run go over when we need a front concrete house. And the baby, him drop front way with the baby.
He lost everything.
I don't want to help with the baby. I don't really have no clothes for him. See that not was socks upon him. No, I don't have for him right now. No, yeah, man, there was socks. More some feed and pampers. Right now, one pampers here, one pampers here right now. One pampers to pan him. Maybe know more. I know you got people right now.
The stories are similar among the people staying at the high school. Teachers turned shelter administrators have been doing what they can to assist, like Philippa Walters.
So far, the shelter, we have not gotten any assistance. All we have using now are things that the school had in stock. And we know by tomorrow to the other day, we'll be out. As it is now, we have no water, no running water, and drinking water also. We have to limit persons to 1 bottle of water per day. That's the situation now. And with the bathroom and all of that, it's all a mess. No water.
No water.
Anybody know Jamaica know say as you take 2 steps, you're thirsty. You don't even have shady tree if you go sit down under you know because Melissa gone with everything. Melissa left everything like a fire scorched it. Melissa left the place like a fire scorch it. And we've been reduced to one small bottle of water in a Jamaica, where when you take 2 steps, you get thirsty. Can you imagine? And they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to highlight these things. They just want us and the people on the ground to just suffer in silence and celebrate the government that Andrew Holness is doing good. When we say Andrew Holness carry out blatant criminality against the people, I starve with the food and water.
Means meals can no longer be prepared. Terrence Brown is also a teacher.
I am now going to go to Savlam, or a team of us, see if we can go to the fire station, ask him for a tank, and if they could come and full the tank so we could get to prepare meals. And there's no water.
Based on its dwindling resources, the shelter can now only provide 1 meal.
Well, it is overwhelming. It is heart-rending. And the people are here, they are trying their best, but they are frustrated. Anger is taking over. People don't know where to go. 90% of the people who are here, they are homeless. This area, Petersfield, Lagood, Bully Tree, Carwina, Pullet Lane, we have people from all over, and their house totally destroyed.
There's also no electricity.
We have to close down by 6:30. Everyone have to go to their room. We are also appealing to the police, the commissioner of police. We have no security from the force. I am now going to Sam to speak to the commander in charge, asking if he could get some security during the night. It is only the security guard at the school we have. So the center is in a major crisis.
Kalisha Williams, TV.
I'm going to play for you again the response of the Prime Minister.
Stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid. It never happened in COVID. It never happened in Beryl, and it will not happen. Madam Speaker, I can point out to you that the member from Eastern Westmoreland made his public comments. I saw them. I reached out to the leader of the opposition. I recognized your pain in what you said. I saw your public comments. I recognized the pain in what you said, and I asked the member from Southeast Clarendon, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, to reach out to you. It is only a matter of logistics why I was not able to land in Darliston or in White House. My friend, if the helicopters could have landed me there, I would have landed there, and I would have been by your side if I could find you. There was no attempt whatsoever, and the suffering of Jamaicans in your constituency, the suffering of Jamaicans in the constituency of Northwest St. Elizabeth is of concern. There are constituencies over here that we have not reached. Southern Trelawney, we haven't reached. Northwestern St. Elizabeth, we haven't reached. So all I'm saying, Madam Speaker, and to Jamaica, I must stand up firmly and close the door on any attempt to politicize aid.
I must stand firmly, he said, and close the door on any attempt to politicize aid. Well, I don't even call the least Hannah name me now, because if me buck her up, would I just grab her in her hair and jog her, just follow me around the whole district and say, look here, you see that? Look here, you see that? You see any level? You see any level of control there, so? So what Lisa Hanna is saying, the people of Jamaica and St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland and Hanover in particular, who are saying, we have not had any government support. So what? Them a lie, Lisa? Because Lisa say, Andrew have it under control. You want me to say, I'm afraid of politician. When me tell you no, I'm afraid of politician, they're very heartless people. Just the mood in Parliament alone on Tuesday triggers me. Like literally, rub me the wrong way. Maybe I'm too stupid. I get that. I didn't see any mood in Parliament like the country's in a disaster. People have died on a scale Jamaicans have not had the experience. And it was business as usual. Anyway, me go and go lick me wound like dog because that's all the United Nations, Donald Trump and Andrew Holness left me with. Licking my wound like a dog. That's all. When the government decides, say, I must get all of the praises, and even if the Chinese, them, a goat, go assist the people, they must be piloted by Flight Green. Flight Green, where the people them don't see. But me did a one, no. I want to come after me hard, Southwest St. Elizabeth, Black River, Parati, you name it. I want to come after me for no good up, chicken chest, MP. Oh God, I want to come after me. But didn't I tell you all that Uno got sorry? This guy haven't even turned up to look at Uno yet. Him come on the back of Shaggy. Him come on the back of KFC. Him come on the back of the Chinese. Him come on the back of Massacre. Does Flight Green not have two legs to stand on? Or because he signed off on the sacrifice? Hey, we meet it on a party seaside and Black River, you know. We not just get hit by a hurricane. Them use a tidal wave to erase us. It didn't happen. We didn't even lose a single life in that tidal wave. We lost a family member after the after effects of the river them we create across the roadway. But like Ono did one wipe way off of the map. Ono don't succeed. Because we're going to still rebuild. We're going to turn up and fight so we land them. Yeah? And every day tsunami come. Or what? The scientists them are going to create it every day? A whole heap will get hit by down a party and Black River there. And not just so wind. And not just so wind and rain we have to contend with. We have to contend with a wave will cover a massive part of the community. 2 miles. We can't go further than Pice Grove because if Pice Grove people, if water that Pice Grove people neck, it has to be further along up the journey. If 1.5, about 1.5 miles or a mile from the coastline, water get to people neck, then it is all the way further up. You have not succeeded. Me tell you from where morning. We went through the blast. We We went through that blast and we came out of it. Even Basil Bennett, who stayed right on the beach there, a few of my cousins who stayed on the beach there, they swim to another cousin Myrna house and knock out our glass and go into the upstairs. We survived it. It was harrowing. But we survived it. Without a life lost in the actual moment. We survived it. I'm not going to use food and get rid of it. I'm not going to use water and get rid of it. What we need to get back to in our communities, a lot of our older generation are still alive. A lot of our older people know where certain liquor springs are in your community that is always springing water. We need to get back to know the bushes around us. There are a lot in our bushes in our community that we now need to get to know because they have put us back way into the 60s and 70s. What they have done to us, they have reversed us back to the 60s and 70s lifestyle living. No water, no running water, no electricity. No proper mode of transport based on how things is at the moment. No town center to go to. There's a lot that we need to know about the bushes around us. There are a lot of waterways you would find in a lot of your bushes across the country. If you tour your community, you're likely to find a spring. St. Elizabeth is full of them. And other parts of the country is full of them. We just, this younger generation, just need to get back to knowing the bushes. Like, oh, when we grow up, we go from community to community, not using the road. So no need for no bushes because they will be on resources. We can find water and food in our bushes. There are a lot of leaves around and we provide a lot of energy. And nutrients when you chew them. You have to plant for the soldier. And that may I try to tell you, you have to plant for the soldier. There are a lot of wild fruits around us. We need to get back to know we bush them. Because when it's about war, which we're in the state of war, you've got to put on your warrior mentality. And that means rationing and what you call the other word? What we call it when we go look for fruits all about the place. But you have to plan to do those things. And practice like the cows and the goat. You see, any leaf you see goat and cow eat, we have to plan the way for walk go on, you know. Any leaf you see goat and cow eat, it will provide you energy and rehydrate you to a point till you get enough water for drink. Anyway, globalists, we're going about my business. Foraging, thank you. Foraging. So we do that in the summertime in our parks, them foraging. So we don't need to get back to the natural life. Because you see how quick they can wipe technology and modernity from under our feet. You see how easy it is for our way of life to be demolished just so. Overnight, we've been reversed. We've gone back into our grandmother's age, a walk and care things pan we head, and all of those things. Well, we not do for a long time now because we have moved up into modernity. We don't see how they reduce we. So we need to get back to the natural way of life, where I go really preserve we. As we can see now that they're using food and water as a weapon against us. We got to know where our springs are. We got to know our bushes and our forests. They might become so useful in a war against the dragons. Thank you very much for being here this morning with us on Global TV. Lovely to have your support as always. And no matter what they say, we are playing politics. I am willing to play this politics to the end. Because if this is not politics, then it is cruelty. And if it is cruelty, it is coming from the politician. If it's not cruelty, it could be just lack of experience and incompetence. If it's lack of experience and incompetence, it's coming from politicians. Everything, every bloody thing about how this is being handled is political. Thank you and goodbye.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it big a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first the poor. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the price. You must show us. And it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, bring him and throw one stone, and it bring about feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black, bring him and throw one stone, and it bring about feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring about feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.